All right. Welcome back to Money Monday with yours truly. And of course, to my left on the screen, but to my right in real life, Terry Hollywood. Hey, after a little bit of a hiatus last Thursday, unexpected event came up for me, but this week we should be on track to do Parx today, Parx tomorrow, Saratoga Wednesday and Thursday, Ascot with Thomas for Foreign Friday. So we got a full week ahead, folks. Looking forward to all of that. How was your weekend, Terry?
Oh, it was good. Yeah, very good. Not too much going on, just trying to get some honeydew stuff done and that kind of thing. So that's about it.
Yeah, it's pretty understandable. She said, honey, do some winning picks today at Parx. And we got a lot of them, 12 races. We'll get cracking pretty soon. But we also got free races today. Guaranteed tip sheet down in the description below. You'll find the picks for Thistledowns today. That's the free track of the day. So make sure you head over to that. Use that link. We certainly hope you came our way for the Haskell Stakes at Monmouth. We had a very big day that day in New Jersey. Hopefully you participated in it. If you did, kindly head on over to horseracingtoday.net. After the show, get a recap of the show, all of Terry's thoughts, my thoughts, a replay of today's video. And while you're there, with some of that Monmouth Haskell money, pick yourself up some Horse Racing Today gear. A nice see you in the winner's circle, gray hat, but it doesn't have to be gray. You can make yours white. You can make yours black. You can make yours red. I don't know. I kind of like the gray one the best, though. What do you think, Terry?
Yeah, I like it the best.
Yeah, as do I. All right. Well, what everybody likes best, I hope anyway, Terry, is when we make picks. So we're going to start in race 1 in Bensalem, Pennsylvania. How are they kicking off the new week?
Well, it's going to start out at 1 mile and 70 yards. It's a $7,500 claiming race, $21,000 purse for 3-year-olds or 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races.
And at 1 mile and 70 yards, the profile of a winner does favor horses with early speed. A whole bunch, despite the long distance, do go wire to wire. That's 4 out of 10 or 40%. There's a rail penalty for Free Bird Bordeaux. 2 and 3 get a bonus. 4 through 7, a small discount. 8 and out, a little bit of a bonus. We do 10,000 simulations around here to see who has the best chance to get on the lead. And then based upon our projected paces, which horses will have the best shot to repeat their best performances, putting them in their comfort zone. Also want to see in our 10,000 simulations how many times they would run a speed figure at or above par. That's our par plus score. In this case, Inside Secret, a small chance to run a speed figure above 81 or equal to 81, according to the folks at Brisnet. And then finally, we're hoping our simulation odds are lower than the post time odds, maybe capturing a little bit of betting value. Terry, who's got the early juice to get the week started?
Well, the 7 shows the most speed here, followed up by the 11, but there are several that show some kind of speed. None of the horses show any kind of an overlay, as from what I can see, and the 7 has the only par plus number. All but the 2 and the 6 have C zones, and most of them are pretty nice.
Looks like maybe the 7 or the 9 has a small overlay, those 2 right there, and the 5.
Oh, you're right.
That
you're
plays right out. We'll see. I mean, tough to tell. Maybe they don't deserve it. That's what Terry's trying to say. Our pace set up here, because we do trip handicapping as well as pace handicapping. Trip over here, pace over there. 7-11, they want to be on your lead. The 5 and the 9, they prefer to be co-pilots. Everybody else, middle back. 2, 4, and 10 so far, not within 5 lengths of the winner at the finish line. At the beginning of the race, it sure does look like the 7 and 11 will get out to the front. Inside Secret, that's usually what you get after chasing some whiskey, Terry. And then our late speed travel guide coming home along with Zappy Fish Bayenne. They'll be coming the hardest, but boy, they're going to be way off the pace. So this race is going to come down to, can the horses on the front stay there, or will then the horses in the back chase them down? Our top total pace horse, many times, about 72, 73% of the time, the winner comes from the top 4. And the top 4 are a bit clear of everybody else. Terry, who's your winner in the opener today?
Well, I'm going to go with the 8 Surfboard. He finished 3rd versus similar in his last race, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Then I'm going to take the 5 Action Dream. He ran 2nd versus similar in his only start, has the highest last speed rating, and can handle this distance. Number 1, Freebird Bordeaux is my third choice. He has the highest speed figure at today's distance, so returning to a route can help him. And he has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 19% of the dirt races that he has a horse competing in. And my long shot is a 3 horse, I'm Not a Baby. He has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And we do a $100 budget each day. We get to bet on the races. We bet $2 to win on our first choice, a $1 exacta box on our first 2 choices, 50-cent trifecta box on our first 3 choices, and a 10-cent superfecta box on our first 4 choices. And usually if there's any money left over, we can bet it elsewhere. But with 12 races, there is no money left over in our budget.
No, we spent it all today, Terry. At least the folks at Parx did. I would all these 6.5 furlong races too. Everybody wanted to race 6.5 furlongs to start the week, I guess, right?
Yep.
I'm going to start with the 1 horse. I know the rail gets a bit of a discount. Freebird Bordeaux getting the first crack at winning for me this week. This horse just runs back to its maiden claiming win, and he's the winner. Does have some good workouts recently. Number 8, Surfboard, ran a Z pattern. So real quickly, Z pattern. Early pace up, a little bit of a breather in the middle of the race, and then found a second win down the stretch. In doing so, ran about a second faster last out. Does have a couple of workouts in between races, and I expect a better performance here. Zoppy Fishbein. Just wanted to say the name, Terry. Really nothing else beyond that, but does have a pair of workouts, a pair of races at a pair of par races, at this level. The only in the field to do so, to have 2 races that would hit par or above, but only 1 win in 26 career starts. More of a Tom horse. In the money, yeah, winner, probably not, though I probably just expressed them into the winner's circle. And then finally, the 7 horse, Inside Secret. Should be one that's forward. One of his best workouts ever prepping. So that horse can get to the lead with the lone par plus and some simulation favorite status, Terry, or one of them anyway. Could go wire to wire in the opener. Do we have time to do race number?
We have 6 minutes.
Yeah, we have plenty of time to get to race number 2, Terry. So let's not waste any more of it and find our way off to race number 2.
Well, we're shortening up to 6.5 furlong. It's a maiden claiming race, $10,000 claiming price, purse $19,000 for maidens and fillies, and mares 3-year-olds and upward.
Yes, maiden claiming 10. I think it's the lowest of all the levels at Parx. At 6.5 furlongs, keep an eye on this one, folks, although it is the lowest level. But there's a bunch of these 6.5 furlong races today so far, before today. Tactical speed really has been the best place, so be in the middle of the pack and forward. If you happen to capture the lead at the get-go, 33% of the time, you keep it all the way into the winner's circle. A bit of a rail bonus for Miss Uptown Toodaloo. 2 and 3 are kind of fair. 4 through 7, they're fair as well. 8 and out, a small discount. So it kind of looks like if you're on the rail and you got a good crack at it, you have a good shot. Anything goes after that, Terry. Where is the speed found in this one?
Well, this is one of those anyone's guess race because the a few of them have some speed, but the 8, 3, and 2 show. Oh, wait a minute. Am I on the right race here?
Yeah, the 3 scratch though.
Yeah. Okay, that's my problem. Okay, the 8 and 2 show the only speed in here, followed up by the 9. Then the 1 has an overlay from even money to 5 to 1. The 4 has an overlay from about 3.5 to 1 to 4 to 1, and the 7 has an overlay of from 7 to 2 to 6 to 1. The 4 shows the only par plus number, and the 2, 7, 3, and 2, 7, and 8 show the C zones.
Now, one that scares me here maybe is that 2 horse a little bit. That strong C-zone and early pace number at a big price. Sometimes those horses get to the lead and look out. They make a lot of tickets end up in the garbage can. Good morning, Cesar Sanchez. Buenas tardes, amigo. Agreed. Good morning to you as well. Oh, good day to you, right? It's what tardes means, good day. All right, so as far as I'm concerned, Terry, I'm going to go over to here with our pace set up for race number 2. And look, 1, 2, 4, and 8 haven't been within 5 lengths of the leader. 5, 6, 7, and 9 may want to close. So in this kind of race, really, if you get to the lead, you probably have a good shot to win. Victorious Victora Victoria. That one might be a little quicker than everybody else, about a length. Gonna have to find some late speed though, because so far that horse stops. So Steady won't stop at the end. Oh, Miss Uptown Toodaloo does look like it, and along with Cali Ray, have the best combination of early speed and late speed. Cali Ray, Miss Uptown Toodaloo, those might be the two, Terry. Again, top four generally finds the winner. Who are your four?
Well, I like the 6, Royal Upstart. She tried turf in her last race, and she didn't like it. She can improve while returning to dirt, drops in class today, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. Then I like 9, the Last Jet. She ran second in her last race, and she has a high percentage winning jockey as well. Cali Ray, the 4, is my third choice, drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 23% of the races when taking a horse from a sprint to a route to a sprint. And Miss Uptown
Toodaloo.
Yeah. The 1 is my long shot. She finished third.
Isn't that what you guys used to say a lot, like in the 1910s? Toodaloo.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Anyway, she finished third versus Tupper in her last race. The Rail Post is winning at a 23% clip, and she drops the class. She has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 21% of the maiden claiming races that he has a horse running in. We do what's called a Don Johnson Miami Vice pick 4. And I think this race is pretty wide open. So I'm going to use the 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 9 with the 1, 3, 5, with the 3, 8, with the 1, 5. And that's a $48 ticket.
I'm going to start off with the 1 horse, Miss Uptown Toodaloo. So maybe going to have hopefully a lot of 1 horses winning, at least in the beginning. Does get that rail boost. The horse is the most lightly raced in the field. So in this race where anything can really happen, maybe this horse has more to offer than what we've seen so far. Chance Occurrence, the 3 horse. The next call for me, forget that one. It's not in the race, right? So
No.
I'm going to have to change my pick 4 a little bit here.
That was that was a late scratch.
All right, so I'm going to go with Cali Ray. Did run a Z pattern last time out. Slowly getting better. Third up with a pair of workouts between races. The 6 horse, Royal Upstart, in the money both races at this level and a par race. And then finally, the Last Jet. Don't really have any comments on that one because I didn't think it was in it, but it is my next up in line. So I'm going to change my pick 4 here a little bit. I'm going to take out that 3 horse, which is not in there anymore. Boom, boom. So I've got 1, 3, 1, 1, 4, 6. Oh, man, come on, Richard, what are you doing? And then I'm going to add the 7 over here. I think I can do that. Can I not do that, Terry?
Probably, yeah. I'm going to take out the 3, 2 and add the 7 in there.
All right, so Terry's going to take this out, take that out. So we got a late scratch screwing us up. That's the beauty of Google Sheets. We can go about our business on the spot. So let me go over here and change mine. I have 1, 3, 1, 4, 6, and 9. All right, there we go. Are we close to starting off that first race, Terry?
Yeah, they're entering the starting gate right now.
All right, as we make our adjustments, let's go back to race El Número Uno. Yes, they are in there. They've gone out to the front view, so it usually means they're pretty close. Jessica Paquette about to get us going for the first race at Parx on the new week. Really no favorite in this race. The 1 horse has taken favorite status, but it is a lowly 3-1.
Yeah,
and they're off and running, and they're all jetting out to the front. Does look like the 3 horse is really hustling. The 1's going to keep them honest on the rail and push everybody up the track a little bit. So it's going to be tight on that rail. A lot of bumping going on in there through that first turn. The 1 and it looks like the 2 horse, they got out to the front. And then to the outside, you have the 8 horse. Down on the rail, the 3. And then I think the 7 horse is up in that mix too. It's kind of hard to tell from here. But the 1 horse did get through that turn on the lead. Freebird Bordeaux, opening quarter in 24 seconds. So maybe a little bit faster than you want that horse to run if that's the one you're backing. The 2 horse right there on the rail, getting a pretty good trip. The 8 horse going to run wide all the way around the track. Terry's 3 horse trying to find space up the rail. They ran a 48-4, so they've got to slow it down a little bit on the backside there. So 1 horse maybe saving a little bit of energy as it come down around the corner. The 3 horse is trying to push up the rail there, and looks like it's going to challenge the 1 and maybe go by the 1 here as they come around the turn. Kind of funny that the 1 horse would give up the inside like that. The 3 horse is taking the lead. It looks like that's the one that's going to find its way to the winner's circle. I'm not a baby unless somebody else decides to get involved in this race, but I'm going to say the answer to that question is an emphatic no. The 3 horse going to run away with this one. And then the 1 horse is going to finish in second, it looks like. We got the 9 horse closing up on the outside. So it's going to go 3, then the 8, then the 1, and then the 9. 3, 8, 1, 9, 2. 3, 8, 1, 9, 2 in a wide open race. I'm not a baby, taking it home at 5-1 to start the new week at Parx.
All right.
All right. So off to race number 3. Speaking of 3s, we go in an extensive 12 race card.
That's right. It's a mile race, a claiming race, $5,000 claiming price, purse $18,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won 2 races since January 22nd.
And a mile profile of the winner does tend to favor horses with early speed, probably the most. 45% of them, at least the route. That's a pretty big number. Go wire to wire. It's a good good bonus for the horses that wear the 1, the 2, the 3. A big penalty for those who wear a 4, a 5, a 6, or a 7. And really the best place to be is 8 and out. I don't think in race number 3 that's an issue today because a couple of scratches. So we only have a 7-horse field. So if you're on the inside with some speed, you got a shot, Terry, but it looks like all of the speed is to the outside.
Yeah, it is. And it's there's 2 of them that have got close to speed. They're going to be the 4 and the 5, and they could go head to head to the finish line. And that 3 shows an overlay from about 8, 5, 5, 2, 3, 9, 2, and 3. 3, 9, and 2 all have C zones along with the 1. And then all of them show some kind of a C zone, although that 1 is really, really low.
Yeah, it looks like the couple of them here at 50% or more, the 5 and the 3. That's the number we're really looking for. The 3 horse here, 2 par plus, a 50% chance to run a speed figure. In this case, of 78 or better. That's a pretty big number in there. Our pace setup for the 3rd race tells us that most of these horses want to be middle forward. If they all go too fast, it could open the door for the 2 and the 9. The 5 horse might get the best trip of all because Scott Elena is an EP type. It can be a pilot, it can be a co-pilot. So it really can let the pace tell it what kind of race to run. As we look at the early speed, we do see Scott Elia is the quickest of the horses out of the gates to the quarter-mile mark, at least from a pace standpoint. But really not a big gap from here to up, so it can really afford to be patient. At the end of the race, you do have 3 standouts in here, the 9, the 2, and the 3, way faster than everybody else down the stretch. We just did see a horse come from middle of the pack to win with a good late run. If that's the way to go today, it does look like these 3 horses with late speed have a good shot. They're considerably more points on the total pace figure, Terry. So take the 2, take the 3, and the 9, put them in an exacta or trifecta box. That might get the job done. What do you say?
I like the 3 Salaga Dula. She won her last race, has a trainer who wins 33% of the races when dropping a horse off of a win, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. Second choice is Nana Fanny. She finished in the money in 4 of the last 5 races, winning 1 of the starts and drops a class today. 5, Scott Elia is my third choice. She has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 31% of the races in the second race after claiming a horse and a really good workout on July 10th. My long shot is Good Penny. She has an early foot, so she can improve at this shorter distance. She has the highest speed figure at this distance, and her dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. The rail post is winning at a 19% clip, and she's got a high percentage winning trainer. No other bets for me, as I have no money to bet.
Yeah, our budget, Rich's budget, busted us today because we're going to the track with Ben Franklin. Salagadula sounds like a good name again to just want to say. This one had a big win last time out, going to drop in class. Does have a bullet workout since then. And if the horse is claimed off the drop, it's about a 50% profit on the win. Scottalia, the second off the claim for trainer Jamie Ness, drops to the lowest level of its last 10 races and does have a trio of great workouts since then. Nanny Fanny, the 2-horse, the third call for me here, class and track dropper, with a lot of numbers that would typically get the job done at this level. And then number 9, Beyond a Million. Been close at this level for the last 3 outings. Last time out, ran about a second faster, as you mentioned, Terry. Our $8.40 per race with the $2 to win. On the top pick, a $1 exacta box, our top 2, 50-cent trifecta box, and 10-cent superfecta box. It's $8.40 committed per race times 12 races. I know that's got to be damn close to $100.
It's $100 and I think 80 cents.
We went over budget. Sorry, I have a doctor's appointment. Well, hope all is well with you today, Race Masters. And the doctor appointment is just a routine checkup, nothing beyond that. Race number 4, Terry, is where we're going to check in next.
Yeah, it's a 6-furlong race. It's a claiming race, $12,500. It's a purse of $23,000 for fillies 3-year-olds or fillies and mares 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races.
And the 3/4 of a mile outing typically favors tactical speed. Still a lot of them, 37%. Go gate to wire is a bit of a rail bonus for Lil Late Luck. 2 and 3 play fair. 4 and out is a little bit of a discount. Not a big discount, but the closer to you are to the rail, it's just a little bit better than if you're further from the rail. Terry, race number 6 does again favor some inside, 4, does favor some inside speed. And although it favors it to the inside, once again, it's weighted to the outside.
That's right. The 8 shows the most speed, and so that horse should really get there first, I would think. But there's several that also have some speed. The 8 also has an overlay from about 2 to 5 to 5 to 2. The 8 has the only par plus number, and all but the 1 show some kind of a C zone.
Yeah, so you got the 2, 3 of them here above 50%. A borderline green go horse where everything is green. Good, decent C zone, almost 50%. Real strong chance to be on the lead. Lone par plus. It is the overlay and the race time favorite by a big time, according to our simulation odds. Let's see if that 8 horse also has any in-race advantages. Well, you got a bunch of horses that want to be on the front. Everybody middle back. So speed of the speed or a mid-pack horse with some late legs generally wins this kind of race shape. At the beginning, you do have Bay Birdie and Cozy Colby as your 2 quickest horses out of the gates. Those 2 may duel it out, although the 2 horse on the inside, a very similar number. In fact, only 9 points separating worst to first. So if you stumble, you bump into the horse next to you, you forget to leave the gate, could be first, could be last. Cozy Colby doesn't matter if it gets off to a great break because it does have more than a length advantage over everybody else down the stretch. 5 points equates to roughly 1 length. If you look at the top total pace picture, Cozy Colby, 10 points clear of Java's Lucky Lady. So according to this, Terry, that 8 horse should live up to our simulation odds.
Yeah, that's true. I do like the 8 as my top choice, Cozy Colby. She drops in class today, has the highest speed figure at today's distance. Her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. She has a high percentage winning trainer, and jockey marks a lot of boxes off. Then that 3 Corona Campone is my second choice. She ran her last race at Parx Racing, and she has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. The 4 Lucky Opportunity is my third pick. She won her last race at Parx Racing, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. The long shot for me is Java's Lucky Lady, the 7. She has a win at Parx Racing, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. I'm going to play the second Miami Vice Don Johnson pick 4. I'm going to use the 3, 4, 7, and 8 with the 1, 3, 5, with the 1, 6, 8, with the 5, 6. That's a $48 ticket.
I'm going to use, I think you could put one more horse in there, Terry, somewhere to get the 48 because it's 4 by 4 by 3 by 2 is the 48. So you're a little bit under that. So you're 9 times 4, you're $36.
All right. That's good.
I'm going to go with the 8 horse to Cozy Colby, that green go horse, or almost green go. Did run the top last race, Pete figure. It was 6 points clear of the next closest horse, but almost all of his races look like that, and almost all of the time it's much better than everybody else is that top total pace horse that we saw by double digits. If we get 5-2, I think, Terry, that would be a blessing. My only worry is that it turns into a Tom horse. Low odds, second place. Java's Lucky Lady might be the one to pick up those pieces if the 8-horse runs second. If she runs back to the first, last time she ran a first race off the bench, she would win this, and this is the lowest level of Java's Lucky Lady's career. Lucky Opportunity, the 4-horse, Paco rides, and anytime Paco's on a horse, folks, at Parx, you better pay attention. And this horse improved all of its race internals last time out. Finally, Corona Campeon, the 3-horse, is the 4th pick. It is that lone PC horse and should be forward versus this field. Strong C-zone, lots of versatility. I mean, strong lone PC horse with that strong C-zone, yeah. Lots of versatility. Should get an excellent trip. I'm going to do a pick 4. I think the 8's going to win this race, Terry, but I tossed the 7 in there this time around just to add to it a bit. 1, 5, 6 over to 1, 6 over to 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7. What is that? That's not a lot. That's $15, $30, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, just in case it goes to form, because if it goes to form, you might not get paid a lot. It's always fun when you win a pick 4 and it costs more than you got back, right?
Yeah.
You've been better off betting the horses to win. All right, Terry, let's try race number 5 and see our thoughts on who might get this one in a big long card today.
All right, 6.5 furlongs, claiming race $7,500 claiming price. Purse $21,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races.
6.5 furlongs, as I mentioned a little earlier, a bunch of these races today. So keep an eye on these. At 6.5 furlongs, tactical speed, a third of them. Wire-to-wire speed, that's how you win. Big rail edge for Battaglia. 2 and 3 play fair. 4 and out, a penalty. But the closer you are to the rail, you are. The better off you are. So once again, Terry, seems like a repeated, like remember in those old days where you can make the record just play over and over and over again by lifting the what was that, like the bar or whatever it was?
Yeah.
Kind of feel like that today at Parx. Inside 3 speed again. Today, we do find in this one, there is inside speed.
That's right. The 2 has the most, but followed up by the 1 and the 8. So that, who knows, I think the 2 will probably get to that quarter pole first, unless it has trouble getting out of the gate. I don't see any really overlays here. Even that 5 isn't really an overlay. So the 5 shows the only par plus number, and all of them show kind of a nice C-zone number.
And again, a long shot to look out for, Riverview. 20-1 morning line, strong chance to be on the lead. Is your top par plus horse, and we've seen many horses, but those 2 columns, dark green, go on to win at a big price. In the 5th race, the 1, 2, and 9 wanted to be forward. Everybody else middle back. So if you can get to the lead, look out. It does look like the 1 and the 2 are going to compete for the lead. They'll get some competition from horses to the outside, but inside speed does have the edge over outside speed. At the end of the race, Ant Berra, along with Rashu, Aztec Bay, All Hail Mo, considerably quicker than everybody else. That 2-horse with all that early speed probably goes out there, sets some stiff fractions, and then backs up. Top total pace horse. You got 2 of them tied. The 8 and the 5, maybe take those 2, exact to box them, and then move on to race number 6. But before we do that, make your picks.
All right. I like the 1 as my first choice. She won her last race at Parx Racing. Rail Post is winning 23% clip. She drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer. The 5 is my second choice, finished 3rd versus Tougher. In her last race, she has a high percentage winning trainer. All Hell Mo is the 3 horse, which is my 3rd choice. She ran 2nd versus similar last race. Aunt Berra is my long shot, the 8. She likes Parx Racing. She's been in the money 63% of the races here, winning 18% of those. The distance won't be a problem as she's finished in the money 66% of the time.
I'm also going to start with Battaglia, the 1 horse. Last week, I tweeted out, and I'm working on something here to see if we can improve it. But in the book, The Complete Handicapper, I think it was page 226, if I remember correctly. Probably don't, but any horse that has 30% of the career in points is one that you can bet blindly. Well, the 1 horse, Battaglia, meets that threshold. So I put that horse at the top of my list. Should be forward too, as we saw in our simulations. So it should be absolute opportunity to take advantage of that, and then gets the bonus of the rail. Orashu, the 5 horse, bless you. Class dropper that ran a little bit faster fractions last out, and that was despite going a little bit more distance. Gryphon's Wings, the 6 horse, did show some early pace improvement through the first half mile. Many times that is an indication of a better race to come today. And then All Hail Mo, slightly better call in my view than the 8 horse. Makes the 3rd start off the bench, most classic of all handicapping angles, and going to carry 10 pounds less than the rest of the field for the most part. Again, we don't have any money left over to bet, so all we can do is make our way to the next race, race 6. So just about halfway on this dozen-day races. Another one at 6.5 furlong.
That's correct, and it's an optional claiming race at $25,000 claiming price. If you elect to put your horse in there to possibly be claimed, purse $28,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have started for $25,000 or less, and which have never won 2 races, or a claiming price of $25,000, or which have never won 2 races.
As we've mentioned, 6.5 furlongs does favor those inside speed horses, Terry. 4 and out, there is a penalty, but from the inside out, so the closer you are on the rail, the less of a penalty you suffer. So again, that record skips and goes right back to the beginning. Inside 3 speed in race 6, Terry, any of it?
Yep, 2 shows the most speed here, but it's not a big amount. And then there's a couple others that show some speed. And then the 3 has an overlay from 8 to 5 to 10 to 1. Nice one. And the 8 has an overlay from about 8 to 5 to 4 to 1. 6, 3, 8, and 1 show par plus numbers, and all of them show a C zone number.
So curious, something a little bit curious about this. I wonder if I pressed the wrong button or something in here, because this should add up to 100. That's not remotely close. So maybe we'll have to focus a bit more on our pace numbers over here to see where the speed lies. Absolutely perfectly balanced race. 2 on the front, 2 in the middle. An old-fashioned hamburger with the bigger hamburger than bun. Went off to a burger festival here in Chicago yesterday where I actually did get a hamburger that was bigger than the bun. That was a lot of fun. Some cover bands, that was nice too. A lot of smoke, the smell of hamburgers and hot dogs and all sorts of stuff cooking. It was a nice Sunday afternoon in Chicago. Looking at the early pace, since our other part was screwed up, that's pretty competitive to get going in here, though. The rail horse, along with Trumpet Call, look like they're a little bit faster than everybody else. At the end of the race, Humble Joe, well, you got 4 of them that are pretty similar. Big gap between them and the rest. So this race looks like it's going to come down to the horses that can get forward versus the horses that can close. And the winners look like, Terry, looks like the horses that go forward have a little bit of an edge, although that 3 horse, Humble Joe, might be what we call a left arrow horse, a closer, with enough early speed to be a part of the early pace today. Terry, does that 3 factor in your picks at all?
Well, no, it's my first alternate, but I like the 1 Jackson Road as my top choice. Ran second versus similar at Delaware Park. Rail Post win it at 23% clip, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Curlin's Cousin, the 6, is my second choice. He won his last race at Parx Racing. He has a high percentage winning trainer, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. Number 8, Top of the Street, as my third choice. Finished 3rd versus similar in his last race. He has the best dirt speed among today's starters, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Trumpet Call is my long shot, the 5. He ran 2nd versus similar in his last race. He has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 18% of the sprint races he has a horse running in. Okay, the 3rd pick 4, Miami Vice, Don Johnson. I'm going to use a 1-5-6-8 with the 5-6 with the 2-10 with the 2-10, 2-7-10. I think that's a $48 ticket.
No.
Why?
Because you got 4, right?
Yeah, times 3 is 12. Times 2, oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
24.
Once in a while, I'm right. Maybe you're going to just do it for $1. Then you're still under $50.
No, I'll just keep it there,
and you'll get it twice. I'm going to go with the 1 horse Jackson Road as well, and the 6 and the 8. First 3 all the same in there. For me, I like the one horse as my top pick, Jackson Road. I think you're going to see a rebound race coming into third start after a layoff. That's been the horse's pattern. If not, look out for the 6. Curlin's Cruising did run a speed figure, 6 points clear of the rest of the field. And that was his first time at Parx after coming up from Gulfstream Park for a strong trainer in Safi Joseph Jr. If he reruns that race, the 6 horse is an easy winner as the favorite. Number 8, Top of the Street, improved enough in its second Parx race after coming in from Kentucky and Indiana. Another move up the scale today would be enough to maybe topple the 1 or the 6. And then Humble Joe has some of the most late speed in this race. Should be close to the front, as we mentioned, a left arrow horse in here. It's also our simulation favorite, one of the top par plus horses. Why not give it a crack at a decent price? In fact, it is the simulation favorite. Let's see if it can live up to that and give us some good value. I'm going to go 1, 6, 2, 4, 5 over to 1, 2, 5, 6, and 10 over to 2, 6, and 10. Can I do that? I don't think I can do that. Yeah, I can do that because that's 9 times 5. That's $45. Race number 7 got a bunch of we hard to believe we're only entering the back half of the card here, Terry. We've got as many to go as we've done already. So let's kind of reset and sort of start all over again.
Yeah, it's going to stretch out a little bit to 7 furlongs. It's an optional claiming race again with $25,000 claiming price. Purse $26,000 for fillies 3-year-olds, which have started for $25,000 or less and which have never won 2 races, or a claiming price at $25,000, which have never won 2 races, or a claiming price of $25,000 for 3-year-old fillies.
A lot to digest there in that 7 furlong race. And it is, of all of the distances at Parx, where early speed is the least consequential, not inconsequential, but still not as important as it is in other races. Stalkers do the best, only 19%, which is still above average, go wire to wire. Got a bonus for 1, 2, and 3. Again, we find 4 through 7, a little bit of a discount. So there's an inside speed bias. Again, Terry, in race number 7. This time around, I got to do something with this who's going to have the lead at the quarter-mile marker, because something ain't working right there, Terry. I don't know what it is, but nonetheless, from what we do see, who will have the lead?
Well, the 7 and the 3 show the most speed, and they should maybe go head-to-head to that quarter pole. The 2 has an overlay from even money to 5 to 2. The 5 has an overlay from 3 to 1 to 4 to 1. All but the 1 show some kind of a par plus number, and all of them show a C zone, although the 5 and 6 is very low.
Mm-hmm. I must have pressed a button somewhere in the process, because I had a couple issues last night with the data that were driving me crazy, but I fixed one, but I apparently screwed up another. Anyway, Christopher D'Souza in race 6 going to go with the closer and the 7 and 3 in this race. He's going to go ahead with the 7, 3, and 2. Diane's Merlot with Coco Pelly Girl, and Emily is on fire. As far as our pace handicapping and trip handicapping are concerned, look, at everybody wants to be forward. Though the 6 horse can sit behind this wall of speed, let everybody do what they want to do and then dictate where it wants to go. The 1 and 5 are going to close, so maybe they can get a great trip if all those front runners really turn on the jets early on. Coco Pelly Girl on the lead. Speed of the speed, when there's a lot of speed, is the best place to be. Yeah, those 3 horses are much faster than everybody else, although Copa Kelly Girl going to have to find a little bit more late juice today. Designated, Emily's on fire. Summers at the Shore, best place to spend them. Really not a big gap between most of these horses down the stretch. Top total pace, Emily's on fire. 4 points clear of Designated, 5 points clear of Union Bell. Once again, the 2 and the 5 with a decided advantage. Both should be forwardly placed, and both have the late legs to close it out. Terry, where are they in your picks?
I like Summer at the Shore. He's won 2 races in a row and is now going for a hat trick. And he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Then I like the 5 Designated as my second choice. Ran second versus similar in his last race, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Emily's on fire. The 2 is my third choice. Won her last race at Parx Racing. Has the best dirt speed among today's starters and has the highest last speed rating. And then I like Union Bell. Finished third versus similar in the last race. Switches to hypersignaling jockey and trainer. There you go.
Mm-hmm. The 2-horse, Emily is on fire. Could be on fire in this spot here, Terry. Another one with the decided total last race speed figure advantage of 6 points over everybody else. And it's sort of a class drop from off that maiden claiming $40,000 win. Number 5, Designated at Parx in the money. 3 of 3 after coming in from Turfway Park. Of the last 3 races, although it doesn't look like it on paper, I qualify that one as the best one. Union Bell, the 4-horse, Paco in the third start after a layoff. And I think this horse fits into a new category for me, what I call the finely healthy horses. So I've been going through my handicapping lately. I've been noticing that horses that make 1 start and go to the barn, or 2 starts and go to the barn, when they extend that out, so this is the first time in the horse's career it's making it 3 in a row, that tells me the horse is finely healthy. Those finely healthy horses show up in the winner's circle a lot. Summer at the Shore, 7 consecutive speed figure increases in a row. That is a lot. 8 in a row would be more than enough to win this race. But at some point in time, you got to think the horse will regress somewhere. Again, race number 8, 2, about to get going. So it'd be a good time to remind everybody that if you're looking for some free picks today, there's a link in the description below. You will find Thistledowns on a fast track. Our free picks for today at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Every day we have free picks over there. And when the show is over, Terry will post all of our comments. And the way this is going with 12 races, we might be to tomorrow's Parx card by the time we get to post that up there. You'll find that over to horseracingtoday.net. There's a link over there. And again, kindly hit on the HRT gear. We talked about the See You in the Winner's Circle hat looking the best in gray. And I'm sure you'll look great in gray as well. All right. Looks like they're about ready to get cracking for race number 2. Let's see, what did we have in our minds for race number 2? Well, it looks like the 1 horse got a pretty bad break. Then he's going to rush him up there. That's what you love to see if you're a handicapper. That 2 horse, the one we said had a shot to get to the lead at a big price. Well, guess what it did? Got to the lead at a big price, 27-1. In fact, he got big prices galore up front, Terry, with that 8 horse in there too at 50-1. And better hope they're going too fast. Down around the bend they go, 22-4. Really not that fast. The 50-1 shot is setting the tone. 7 horse screaming up on the outside. Terry, that one looks like it's moving the best. The one that you added into your pick 4 at the end. Looks like that one's going to be the one that runs by everybody and ends up being your winner. Although the 6 horse is going to make sure that he works for that. 4 horse down on that rail. He's going to try to come up through there too. That's how the 3 horse got to the winner's circle last time out. The 7 horse up on the front. The 6 horse to its inside. Looks like the one that Terry added in there at 9. Oh, no. The jockey fell off the 4 horse. That's not good. Terry, the one that you added in at the end off the scratch is going to be the winner.
Mm.
And then the 2 horse is going to slide in there. Is that the 2 horse? The one that got off? Yeah, it can't have a weird race anyway.
Yeah.
7 horse. Terry, you're alive on your pick 4 with Melody's Kiss.
Well, lucky me for having that scratch and putting that one in there.
Yes, I hope the jockey on the 4 horse in there.
Yeah, I hope so.
Martinez, Francisco Martinez.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah, he looked like he got clipped by the horse behind him, too.
it did in the leg, at least.
Mm-hmm. Godspeed to him that he gets up and that he's well. Are we on race number 8?
Yes, we are.
All right, yeah, I got to get cooking here because so far not so hot to start off the new week. All right, let's see if race number 8. This is a great place to get started on that because it's 4.5 furlongs. Bunch of first-time starters, so we don't have any data, Terry.
No, it's a maiden $42,000 purse for maiden fillies 2-year-old.
Yeah, so most of them making their first start. I think maybe 3 or 4 of them that have raced before. At 4.5 furlongs, surprisingly, well, 2 out of 3 went wire to wire. So you don't really have a whole lot to go through. Yet 2 wins come from post 2 and 3. The other came from somewhere from 4 through 7, Terry. Again, no data to share. So the only thing we have left to share are our picks. Why did you start with Maximus Angelicus?
Yeah, I like that horse, the 6. She Finished third versus similar in her only start as a favorite, but has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 30% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back again. And she has a high percentage winning jockey. Then I like the 5-horse Central Success. She is a first time starter whose dam has 4 winners from 5 starters. She has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 26% of the races with first time starters and a good workout on July 10th. Hope for Greatness. The 9 is my third choice. She has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 33% of the races when using first time blinkers and can improve while returning to the dirt. Hippie Hippie Shake. The 11 is my long shot. Finished is a first time starter whose dam has 2 winners from 3 starters, has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 29% of the races in 2-year-old races, and she has a bullet workout on July 17th.
I'm going to begin with the 5-horse Central to Success. I have that 3 for 3 scale. Of course, I look at the first time starter record for the trainer, the workouts, and then I look at the breeding. If they maximum 1 point for each, Central to Success got a point for each and does have a great back bullet workout on July the 10th. Excuse me. If it was back in January, that'd be way too long ago. 4 furlongs, 47, breezing from the gate. That horse could be fast. Number 11, Hippie Hippie Shake. My next pick in there, Terry. It's another 3 for 3er. Paco Lopez riding. Good workouts. The last workout, although 3 furlongs, is a bullet and go. That's another 15% angle, according to Barry Meadows. Strong like Sarah, the 2-horse. Yet again, 3 out of 3. Another horse with a back bullet. This case, 47 and 4 for 4 furlongs. That's pretty quick. Not Too Late. Well, if you look at Not Too Late, all of its workouts, all 3 of them that are published are bullet workouts. Bullet, 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 bullet. And this horse is going to catch a little bit of a weight break. And then I have the 6-horse, that one that was the favorite. But when you add 5 to 13 points to its debut speed figure, wouldn't it be enough to get to the winner's circle? Although that horse was 4 to 5 favorite in its debut. So maybe it rebounds today and comes back and makes good on the bettors backing it last out. The last of the pick 4s in this race day today, race 9. Yeah, I was a little bit, I thought I threw myself off there a little bit, Terry. All right. So usually we're 1 race away. We're originally talking about the late double and not the late pick 4. But what are they going to start the late pick 4 with?
A mile and 70 yards is a claiming race, $10,000 claiming price, $26,000 purse. For 3-year-olds and upwards, which have not won a race since April 22nd, claiming races for $8,000 or less are not considered, of which have never won 4 races.
And a mile and 70 yards is how we started the show. You saw that 3-horse sitting about 3rd or 4th, came on to win the race. Early speed usually does win. 40% of the time it wins on the front. It's a little bit of a rail penalty. 2 and 3 get the bonus. We did see the 3 come through in that opener, so he lived up to the bonus. 4 through 7, a small discount. 8 and out, a small bonus. So inside 3 speeds, not always the case. Having a good post position, 3rd position is good, but here we do find a race with a lot of horses with some speed.
Yeah, several of them show speed, but the 1 and the 7 show the most speed. The 5 has an overlay from 5 to 1 to 8 to 1. That's about the only overlay I see. The 6 and the 5 have par plus numbers, and all but the 4 show some kind of seasons.
I wonder what happened in those middle races, because now it's adding back up to 100 again. So I have no idea. I must have just did something wrong on those races. But anyhow, our race shape for the 9th race, most everybody middle back. At a race where 40% of the time they go wire to wire. So if you can get to the front, you probably got a good chance to add to that 44%. Well, there's that 3-horse again. Moondog, about 3/4 of a length quicker than Sailor's Return. So the 3 front runners are definitely going to get up there. The 1-horse, Brindisi, might be a little bit of your left arrow action in there. But again, look at this, Terry. From here to here, really only a 10-point gap from top to bottom. So getting off to a good start's key. You can't hesitate at all. Hey Porter, Hornbeam, trending up are the ones that'll be trending the best at the end of the race. Finally, our top total pace picture tells us this is a very competitive spot with, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 horses within 7 points, within a length and a half of each other from a total pace perspective. So this one might be one where you want to spend a few more bucks. Terry, how did you spend yours?
Well, I like the 10-horse Hornbeam as my pick of the day at Parx Racing. He ran second versus Summer in his last race, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 2 Visual Artist is my second choice. Ran second versus Tupper in his last race, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 7 Brilliant Chase is my third choice. He has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. The 8 Uncle Waterflow is my third long shot. He won his last race at Parx Racing. He has a high percentage winning trainer. I'm going to use the 2, 7, 10 with the 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to single the 3 and finish up with the 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. That's a $48 Miami Vice Don Johnson pick 4.
I am going to begin with the 2 Visual Artist as my top pick. Hopefully it doesn't upset your pick of the day. But if that horse just reruns the race it just ran for Jamie Ness and Ruben Silvera, it is your winner, down in class with a 4-point speed figure edge over the rest of the field. Hornbeam, always very close at this level, did improve in the middle of the race last out. Hey Porter, the last 2 times this horse ran at Parx, if you can repeat either one of those, it probably does win here. The 4-horse trending up, has some crazy strong late pace at times. It's a Tom horse, another one that probably doesn't win, but I do think at the end of the race with that incredible late speed does have an opportunity to pick up the pieces and get in for a piece of maybe the exacta or trifecta or superfecta. 2, 6, 10 over to 4, 6 over to 2, 3, 6, 7 over to 1, 8, 10, 11 for me, also $48. Race 10. As we move on today. All right. Usually we're going to finish up here, so I'm feeling good about things. But here we go again with 6.5 furlongs.
That's right. So it's a claiming race, $25,000 claiming price, $32,000 purse for 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since April 22nd. Claiming races for $16,000 or less are not considered, and which have never won 4 races.
And Christopher, he likes the 1-horse to win race number 9. So here you go, $20 to put on that one. Kind of a head-to-head with Terry on that best bet of the day there. Also, like Christopher, if you have any ideas, thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, please let us know in the comment section. If you like what you see and you're watching on Twitter, kindly retweet. If you haven't done so already, please follow us on Twitter. You can also head over to Facebook at Horse Race the number 2 day. Same place, TikTok. Same place for Instagram. Couldn't think about that off the top of my head. Here on YouTube at Horse Racing Radar TV. Subscribe if you haven't. If you're not a subscriber over on our YouTube channel, kindly do that. We'd like to find our way to 10,000 as soon as possible, because then YouTube unlocks a few more creative tools for us that we can share with you. 6.5 furlongs. We've talked about it 1,000 times today, Terry, and I think in the next few races we'll talk about 1,000 times more. But still, tactical speed, 1 out of 3 on the front, goes all the way to the winner's circle. Big rail edge for G-Bert. 2 and 3 play fair. Again, the closer you are to 4 and out, the closer to the rail, the better. Inside 3 speed, Terry, it's been the story of the day. Well, it looks like just outside of that is where it's at.
Yep, the 4 shows a lot of speed, so it should get there first at quarter pole. The 2 has an overlay from 5 to 1. The 3 has an overlay from 4 to 1 to 6 to 1. And the 4 has an overlay from about 7 to 5 to 3 to 1. All but the 1, 7, and 8 show par plus, and all but the 4 and 6 show C zones.
Yeah, we have a couple of them here. The 3-horse super flyover. Easy day and Buffeed. Again, if you're new, C zone just means when we look at our early pace, compare it to the horse's previous races, where this horse of today, how closely it'll match their best performances. We got a bunch of par plus horses in here. 13% of the time were 1,320 out of the 10,000 simulations of bad. The George Thorogood horse runs a speed figure of 90 or more. Trip handicapping in the 10th race reveals that all these horses want to be middle back, the 4-horse being the lone exception. Real talk. That's what we call a lone E horse. Everybody's looking for him. Real Talk is 10 points quicker, about 9 points, almost 2 lengths faster than everybody else at the get-go. Loneys that get to the front are exceptionally dangerous, even if it doesn't have any late speed like this one doesn't show. Gebert, that horse on the rail with the bonus, going to be coming hard at the end, along with a bunch of others. Your top total pace horse in here is Meet Me at Mondays, one that jumps out of the pack. No, wasn't at the beginning at the front, wasn't it the best at the end, but put A and B together equals C, and perhaps your champion. Terry, who's your champion here?
Well, I like Real Talk, the 4. He finished third versus similar in his last race, has the highest last speed rating, and switches to high percentage winning jockey. Super Flyover, the 3 is my second choice, won his last race at Parx. He has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Meet Me at the Mondays. 6 is my third choice, switches to high percentage winning trainer, wins 31% of the races in the first race after claiming a horse, and switches to a high percentage winning jockey. 5 is my long shot new commission. He won his last race at Parx Racing, and he has a high percentage winning trainer.
I believe the 4 horse gets the lead with Paco and won't give it up, that 4 horse. Meet Me at Mondays. This is an alpha angle, believe it or not, for Jamie Ness. An alpha angle for me, Jamie Ness usually wins at 27%, so he wins 1 out of 4 races at Parx anyway. But when he claims a horse and then drops the horse, he wins 4 out of 10. And if the horse gets claimed off the drop, they will make a profit. Easy Day, the 7 horse, could have an easy day if he can run back to his back class. Should run a pretty solid race because he's really consistent. And then number 3, Super Flyover. Is that lone PC horse in here gonna be coming from the back of the pack, but really not all that far off versus these. Now we're going to do the first race of the late daily double, Terry. That's going to be race number 11. And what are they going to do here?
Well, in this race, they're going to go back to that 6.5 furlongs. It's an optional claiming race again, $40,000 claiming price. First $52,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races other than maiden, claiming, starter, or state bred, or which have never won 3 races, or claiming price of $40,000.
So Christopher D'Souza really feeling confident about it, going back-to-back Unos, $40 double, race 9 and 10, just putting the red ones on top. So if you're playing a contest today, maybe 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way through those Parx picks. As far as 6.5 furlongs, I mean, you probably can recite it by now. Inside 3 speed, the closer to the rail you are, the better from 4 and out. Terry, again, do we see speed on the inside here?
Well, no, not really. The 7, the outside horse, shows the most speed. The 2 has an overlay from 4 to 5 to 6 to 1. The 2 also has the only par plus number, and all but the 1 and 5 show C zones.
And then again, our race shape telling us in the 11th spot, really short field. Really nobody wants to lead. So get to the front. A lot of the horses win these type of races because there's not a lot of other speed in there. The judge and the jury, well, that one should be your pace setter in there, Terry. 8 points clear of everybody else, about a length and a half. Does have some tactical speed to its inside, so I'm sure that trainers and jockeys and owners are going to see what we see. Somebody else will send with the 7, very likely. If so, the late speed should belong to Speedy Bolt, really not far off the pace here at all. Vesson, really not off the pace here either. So all these horses can kind of run in a pack around the track. Speedy, I mean, you only got 6 points separating top to bottom. This is an anybody can win race, Terry. Who do you think does?
Okay, I like in this race, Great Navigator, the 3. His best start speed is fast among today's starters. He has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 40% of the races when taking a horse from a route to a sprint, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. The 7, the judge and the jury, is my second choice. He likes Parx Racing. He's been in the money 80% of the races, winning 40% of those starts. The distance won't cause any problems as he's been in the money 60% of the time, winning 40% of those. Midlander, the 6, my third choice, has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. And that combination the last 14 days have been in the money 4 out of 5 starts with 2 wins, a second and a third. My long shot is number 2, Speedy Bolt. He won his last race at Parx Racing, has a high percentage, has the highest last race speeding. So there you go.
And the one horse that neither one of us has is the one horse, Eagles Cry, which Christopher D'Souza is singling up in his double. Another pick for Slayer. Thank you, Chris. Coming from Chris. I believe the 7-horse, the judge and the jury, will be the judge and the jury today, and then Executes is your top early speed horse in the field. Everybody wants to be middle back, along with the top C-zone score. So even though the horse is going to be out front, should be very comfortable out there. This is another horse combination you don't see very often, though. Jamie Ness could have a huge day today. Teaming up with Paco. That's not something you see that often. Does have a bullet workout since his last race. So I got a feeling Jamie's going to send this one today. The early pace says that's the way to the winner's circle. Midlander. We talked about those Q30 horses where they have 30% of the queering horses. This one has it. Really dangerous if he can get up front. Does have strong workouts. And the last time this horse came off the bench, guess what it did, Terry?
It won.
It won. Great navigator, track dropper, does have the most back class for that 3. And I'm expecting a better performance in the second start after a layoff. And then Speedy Bolt did run the top last race. Speed Vigor, which included faster fractions. The only reason I didn't poke this one any higher up on my list is because its most recent race was its peak speed figure. And the last time the horse peaked, it regressed. But if he doesn't regress, could win this race and do so at a decent price as our simulation odd favorite. Finally, today, the last race of the 12-race card. How many we got tomorrow, Terry?
12.
Oh, no. Another day of 12. All right. Well, they started at 1 mile and 70 yards. They're going to end at 1 mile and 70 yards. But this time, what's the money about?
It's a claiming race, $5,000 claiming price, purse $18,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since January 22nd.
And this version of 1 mile and 70 yards, the 3-horse won the first rate again. 40% do win on the lead, but being in that stalking position does pretty well. Rail penalty for Cobble Road, 2 and 3 get the bonus, 4 through 7 a discount, a little bit of a bonus from 8 and out. For the final time today, Terry, the data tells you who is going to be the pace setter here.
The 11 shows the most speed, but it's not a heck of a lot, with followed up by the 1. The 8 shows an overlay from about 3 to 5 to 7 to 2. And the 8 also shows the only par plus number. All but 3 show C zones.
And on the total pace picture, we got to go over here. Look at this. 6-horse, look out. Lone speed. Everybody else to the front, to the back, to the middle of the back. The 4 and the 11, Grand Pick and Flat Lucky, those 2 PC types. So that might get a great trip, the 4 and 11, because if this group goes too fast, they can be patient. If they go too slow, they can just say, you know what, we're going to move up into here. Our early pace picture tells us it's, pretty competitive early on, although the 11 and the 6, so there's your potential E-horse. The 11 might keep it to task, but some speed to its inside. At the end of the race, where this one might be one like we saw with the 3 in the opener, Midnight Act, codependent, more than a length faster than everybody else. Of those 2, Midnight Act will be more forwardly placed. And then Midnight Act is our top total pace horse, along with Cobble Road. Those 2 are 8 points clear of the rest. So maybe an 8-1 exact the box for those of you who like to do hot dog tickets like I do. Terry, who do you put at the top of your ticket?
Yeah, I went with the 11 Flat Lucky. He ran second versus Tupper in his last race. Has a high percentage winning trainer and likes the distance. Then the 8 Midnight Act is my next choice. Drops in class today. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. Macho Eddie, the 10, is my third choice. He finished third versus similar in his last race at Parx Racing, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. The 6 Super John is my long shot. He has a high percentage winning jockey, and he has a high speed figure at today's distance.
I'm going to go with the 1-horse like Christopher D'Souza. He's ending at 1-1-1-1. Why not just do a pick 3 as well, Chris? Because you got the $40 double, maybe a $1 pick 3, 1-1-1 at the end. So that's 4 ones. And there's got to be something in the numerology for that. We'll ask Race Masters, since he's the one that likes the numerology and the crypto codes, something of which I am not too familiar with, Terry. Maybe you are. I don't know.
No, I'm not.
I am not either. All right. So in race number 11, or 12, the last of a dozen today, We did talk about this, so I guess all that's left is my picks. So I'm going to go with that one horse, Cobble Road. Rerun its last race, and that's your winner. Better early pace, better fractions, better race today. Number 11, Flat Lucky, winner at 2 of 3 at the distance, and a third time after the start for the top trainer at the track. That would be Jamie Ness. Mucho Macho Eddie, the 10 horse. Signs of Life in its last race and did run much better pace numbers from the middle to the end of the race. And then finally, Midnight Act, going to run to the lowest level of its last 10 races, or the last few probably merit the horse dropping to the lowest level of its last 10. No additional bets for us today here at all, Terry. Again, the first 2 races are in the books. The 7-horse won race number 2, which Terry added into his pick 4. And then in the opening race, the 3-horse won. So far, not so good, Terry. Your long shot and a last second add-in winning. So we better pick up the pace here from 3 through 12. So still plenty of races left to do that. Tomorrow we'll accomplish the same feat. A dozen races at Parx on Terrific Terry Tuesday. Are there going to be 12 at Saratoga on Wednesday and Thursday too?
No, it's 9 on Wednesday, and I believe 9 or 10 on Tuesday. I mean, went Thursday.
All right. So it should be a good day of racing there. Looking forward to the rest of this week. And again, ask Scott on Friday for Tom and I for 4 and Friday. So an action-packed week of picks. Again, we better pick it up for the rest of this day. Terry, any final thoughts from you before we get out of here?
Yeah, if you like what you saw today, and I know you did, please subscribe to YouTube. Hit that little bell to get yourself notified whenever there's a program coming up. Go ahead and click on that link below and copy it and send it to all your friends and relatives and everybody you know so they can come and check us out too. I know they'll like us. And then go to our social sites such as X, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Threads at Horse Race, the number 2 day, and give us thumbs up there or like. It really helps us out. So other than that, have a great rest of the week.
I agree with Terry. Please tell your friends about us. If you have friends that like horse racing, let them know we're here. We would greatly appreciate that. See, how long do we have to the next race? Do we have time to stick around maybe and
3 minutes?
Share what we see. All right. In those 3 minutes, again, we do have some free picks today over at Thistle Downs. You can head down to the description down below and catch that. We greatly appreciate it. In race today, when the show's over, head on over to horseracingtoday.net, pick up Terry's comments, my comments, a replay of the video, and head on over to our Horse Racing Today gear shop. Help the show out. Support us by sporting our gear wherever you are. Couple of days left for free shipping. Anything you can do to save a few bucks is always a big plus. Race number 3. Let's take a look at where they're at about that. We got 2 minutes to go to that one. So we got some time to kill, Terry. Probably too much time to kill. So no matter what it is you're doing, folks, for the rest of this day, first of all, I want to say thank you for sharing the early part of your day with us. We appreciate that. Make sure that you treat all your friends, family, and even strangers the way you want to be treated. And we hope that all your endeavors are filled with God's grace, God's favor, and every single thing you do today. Hopefully, some of our picks that actually make it into our picks end up in
the winner's circle.
Indeed. See you tomorrow.